What is up, guys? Welcome back to Danny Reacts. We're having an amazing day today, guys. And do you believe in ghosts? I do believe in ghosts, and it's creepy because we can't see them, and that's so scary. And we're gonna check out a video today called the top 15 scariest paranormal activity caught on video. We're gonna see the videos today, so let's go check it out. Give this video a big thumbs up, and thank you for 143,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. And here we go. This is really creepy.
Number 15, the Zozo Demon. Like a real-life version of Pazuzu from The Exorcist, Zozo is said to be a demon most commonly contacted through
Ouija boards are so creepy.
Many people worldwide have claimed to come in contact with the demon Zozo.
I'm never using a Ouija board.
It is not a being to take lightly or be provoked. While its origin is unknown, reports of this malevolent being have dated back to the early 19th century. People know they have contacted the real Zozo when it spells out its name in what is called a rainbow fashion, meaning
That's
the
so
letter moves in
creepy.
an arched fashion, spelling Z-O-Z-O over and over again. YouTube is full of videos of people attempting to contact Zozo, with one even showing a woman becoming possessed and frantically laughing.
Yeah, that's actually messed up. Never contact spirits, guys.
Zozo the clown.
So creepy.
What the? Martha, what are you doing?
Her friends stunned
That's
and terrified as they
fucked.
attempt to bring her out of the state.
Never do
Ghost
that,
Adventures
guys.
hosted an entire episode on the Zozo Demon, with strange occurrences being documented throughout their session. These include abnormal behavior of the crew and residents of the home, and unexplained knockings from around the house. One disturbing moment occurs when member Nick Groff enters the house alone, and suddenly hears all the dogs in the neighborhood simultaneously howl in almost perfect unison.
Weird in here, guys.
That's so creepy because you're bringing a spirit from the spiritual realm into your life. It's like you're summoning a
For
demon.
those who wish to contact
So
Zozo,
creepy.
it is recommended you
Never do
don't,
that, guys.
since it is an unforgivable force who possesses its victims. Number 14, the church piano. For many, churches are seen as a place of refuge from evil and a place of worship. On the other hand, churches are some of the most common haunts. In November 2011, a video was uploaded to YouTube of two friends walking through the woods at night towards an old church. The two enter and begin exploring the various rooms, including the sermon area. After entering an adjacent room, the two suddenly begin hearing piano music playing, despite them being the only
That's
two
so
people
creepy.
Oh man. Oh my god, turn it off, turn it off. Shh. Listen, listen.
That's so scary.
Is that piano? Come on. Should we go out there?
It's in the middle of the night, right? In an
Freaked out,
abandoned
the two
church.
enter the main room and make a run for the opposite end towards the exit, then flee back out of the woods. Although the encounter was no doubt terrifying, the two men managed to joke and laugh, albeit nervously, as they attempt to process what they were
That's
witnessing.
good. I'd be so scared.
Skeptics have pondered if the piano was electric, but these ideas have been quickly brushed off since the church appears derelict and with no power. No other news surrounding the footage has been released, and the origin of the music remains a mystery. Number 13, the Pink
There's something
Lady.
so creepy about the middle of the night, you know what I mean? Anything could become creepy. As a kid, I was afraid of my basement in the middle of the night. I would not go down in my basement in the middle of the night.
Greencastle, Indiana is home to an abandoned mansion just outside the town's limits. Two enthusiasts, Guy Winters and Terry Lambert, decided to venture out past dark to explore the derelict house after hearing the place was haunted. The two videotaped the adventure, which just happened to be during a thunderstorm. Winters and Lambert noted various eerie pieces of graffiti, with one saying "This is hell" on the door. Lambert took a series
That's
of
so
pictures of
messed
the
up.
windows from outside and more inside when suddenly Winters felt he was being watched and began to smell a mixture of sulfur and roses. The two heard a series of bumps from around them, which caused them to flee the house and back to their van. When
Yeah,
the two
I'm
got
out.
around to examining their photos, they discovered they captured the apparition of a woman wearing pink peering out of a second-story window, and again in the door frame. Photo experts analyzed the photos and determined they were in no way altered. Further analysis
That's so
emphasized
messed
the
up,
lights and
guys.
darks in the photo, and in a terrifying twist made the face of the apparition to appear to be that of a skull. Winters and Lambert continue to use the evidence as proof ghosts exist.
Ghosts
and the
do
images
exist.
are frequently circulated
That looks like a face, eh? It looks like a skull. That's so
Today,
creepy.
Number 12,
That's
Old
mess.
Crown Pub Ghost. Located in Birmingham, UK, the Old Crown Pub was established during the 14th century, leaving the pub full of history. However, not all of its history is good, and with it still lingers entities from the past. Patrons and staff have reported various encounters with strange forces, from quick glimpses of shadows to face-to-face confrontations with full-body apparitions. The Old Crown became a national sensation when the bar owner and staff released CCTV footage of several beverages crashing to the ground with no explanation as to why. Patrons and staff witnessed the incident and were stunned as they
If I was
investigated
working,
what
I would
happened.
just go
No one
home.
present saw anything suspicious. Landlord Syrian Healy was unconvinced the occurrence was supernatural, instead believing patrons were fooling around and accidentally knocked the bottle over. However, he was convinced after reviewing the CCTV footage, losing a £20 bet in the process. The identities of the spirits within the Old Crown are unidentified, but could be anyone who stayed and worked on the premises during its 650 years of operation. Number 11,
That's so
Exorcism
messed.
of Carl Lawson. In the town of Wilder, Kentucky is a well-known country and western nightclub known as Bobby Mackey's Music World, owned by musician Bobby Mackey since 1978. The nightclub is notorious for being haunted by malevolent spirits, known to attack customers and workers at random and without provocation. The entrance to the club even has a warning posted to visitors.
The establishment is prompted to be haunted. Management is not responsible,
Stating
cannot be
it
held
is in
liable
no
for any
way
actions of
liable for
any
any
ghosts
injuries
/
inflicted
spirits
by
in the premises.
paranormal activity.
That's
The
pretty
former
cool, but like
caretaker
it's
of the
also
club,
really creepy.
Carl Lawson used to live in an upstairs suite of the building and would sleep with a loaded shotgun next to his bed. The spirits began an obsession with
insane.
Lawson, and soon he began to display abnormal behavior. It was soon determined Lawson was possessed, and a priest was brought in to conduct an exorcism. The entire ordeal was captured on tape for evidence, and Lawson is shown expressing anger and aggression towards the priest.
There ain't a goddamn fucker gonna ever come in this place again and try to run any of us off.
Oh, yes.
Because there's thousands of us here.
I don't care. I'm telling you.
We were been here for almost 6,000 years.
I'm telling you that you gotta leave tonight.
I don't have to go nowhere.
Yes, you do.
Constantly shouting, "This body is mine." He even begins to whimper at one point, but in a woman's voice. It is believed he is being used at this point by Pearl Bryan, who was murdered in the building in the 1920s in what is believed to be a satanic ritual.
Somebody was murdered
Carl
in the
survived
building.
exorcism, and the spirits were cast out of him. He quit as caretaker soon after, but returned briefly to be interviewed by members of Ghost Adventures. Lawson passed away on January 27, 2012 of a heart attack, and his friends and former co-workers wonder if he
That's
was ever
terrible
able
to be
to
possessed.
fully escape
That's
Bobby
scary.
Mackey's, or if he himself is now one of the many spirits within its walls. Number 10, the
looks
Ghost
like a
on
nice
the
guy, though.
Stairs. The Queen's House in Greenwich, UK is part of a series of national museums located around the British Isles, and was once the home of Anne of Denmark, the Queen consort between 1603 and 1619. In 1966, Reverend Ralph Hardy was visiting Queen's House and decided to take a photograph of the staircase. Upon developing the photos, he was shocked when he discovered a woman appeared holding the railing with her right arm stretched towards the top of the stairs. The figure appears to be a woman wearing a robe of some kind, but the face is obscured beyond recognition. The negatives were sent to Kodak for analysis, and experts determined
That's
they
so
were in no
messed
way
up.
tampered with, concluding it to be genuine. While there is speculation
That looks
as
like a girl in a robe holding the
to the
staircase.
identity of the person in the photo, there is no conclusion as to what was captured on film. The photo is a true example of paranormal activity
That's
and remains one of
mess.
the most haunting ever taken.
Ghosts are
Number
real,
9,
guys.
The haunted stores. Not all ghosts will appear in places we expect, such as historical buildings, castles, or battlefields, and can haunt the most bizarre locations. In 2007, a video appeared on YouTube of what is alleged to be a haunting at a Blockbuster Video in Mexico. Not much else is known about the video, but it shows security footage of videos being knocked off shelves as an employee stalks them after hours. The lack of information on the video is the main point for skeptics calling out its authenticity, but But this isn't the only haunting caught in a store on security cameras. In January 2015, another video was released in a bookstore where security cameras captured a book levitate off a shelf and
Yeah, if it's
open
levitating,
as
that's
if a
honestly
ghost
so
was
creepy.
reading it. It's scary to think of hauntings not being exclusive to locations we expect, and the videos will definitely be chilling to those who work alone during the closing shifts. If any of our viewers have
Look,
noticed
that's
objects
creepy. Like, if
moved
like
or
something like knocks
misplaced
off
around
like the shelf, it could be like
workplace,
fake,
remember
right?
these videos before
But if
you
it's
blame
levitating,
your coworkers. Number
that's
8,
what's creepy.
Spectre of Newby Church. The Church of Christ the Counselor is an Anglican church founded in 1870, located in Skelton-cum-Newby, UK. The church is the location of one of the most famous photographs of a ghost. In 1963, Reverend K.F. Lord was taking photographs of the church for archival purposes. Upon developing the photos, Lord discovered one depicting the tabernacle had a ghostly entity standing at the right of the photograph.
That's so
the
messed
apparition has a
up.
truly terrifying look,
That's so messed
resembling
up,
a robed
guys.
man with strange cloth mask covering its face. Those who've analyzed the photo have said the figure appears to be wearing the robes of a monk dating back to the 16th century. Furthermore, the figure appears to stand at 9 feet tall, determined by analysis of the height of the furniture in the background. The photo remains in the paranormal archives as an important piece of evidence of the existence of ghosts and the paranormal. Number 7, the Junkyard Ghost. Workers at an Oklahoma service lot got a shock in 2002 when CCTV captured a strange apparition apparently dancing around the lot late at night. The apparition jumps around various points on the camera as stunned security looks on. At one point, one of the security team leaves to investigate, but by the time he arrives, the spirit is gone. The footage
That is
exploded
creepy.
in popularity
That's
and was
creepy.
featured on various local news outlets. However, skeptics studied the footage over and over, and many claim it is simply an insect flying around and the light from the yard are reflecting on the camera to create the body-like figure seen. The owners of the lot had no explanation of the footage, but all admitted they were spooked by what was seen. The footage was most famously featured on MSNBC's Caught on Camera episode titled Mysteries and Monsters in April 2013, once again sending the video viral and unleashing a fresh debate on its authenticity. Number 6, the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. Within this Norfolk, UK country house lives a lonely spirit who wanders the halls. Raynham Hall was once owned by members of the Townshend family for 4 centuries. In September 1936, photographer Hubert C. Provant and Indir Shira were taking photos for Country Life magazine. While setting up photographs of the main staircase, Shira saw an apparition slowly descending the stairs towards them and urged Provant to take a photo. He did, and to their luck
That's
and
so
amazement,
creepy.
managed to capture a
Honestly,
near-perfect
guys,
form
that's
of a
honestly
hooded
so
figure
creepy.
in the center of the frame. Experts and enthusiasts believe the ghost's identity to be that of Lady Dorothy Walpole. Walpole died on March 29, 1705, of what is believed to be smallpox, and is said to be one of the most active resident spirits on the grounds, and is known as the Brown Lady because
I'd probably
witnesses
move out.
describe her as
I would
wearing
either,
brown
like,
robes.
make
There would be
peace
no
with, like, the
exaggeration
spirit.
to suggest the
Like,
Brown
become
Lady
friends with
of
the spirit,
Raynham
kind
Hall
of,
to be
right?
the
Don't make
most
enemies of the
iconic
spirit,
photograph in the
or I would
paranormal
leave the
archives,
house.
and it continues to
That
be a
spirit's
hot
not
topic
leaving.
of
That's-
discussion
that
and
person
subject
died
of
in the
lore
house.
Today. Number 5, the Pantry Ghost. Starting in January of 2007, a series of videos began to appear on the YouTube channel Sarami127, which shows a ghost of a girl in the family's pantry. The girl appears briefly and looks out the glass before vanishing, and at times the door will open and close on its own. Not much was known about the incidents, and eventually the videos stopped uploading. However, in 2012, a trailer for a documentary about the family's experiences in the house, as well as more videos not uploaded to the channel, and interviews with the family members. Since the beginning, the video's authenticity have been called into question, and even more so since the documentary's release. Many claim the videos were nothing more than publicity for the film, but others have stated the time between the YouTube videos and the documentary are too far in between, meaning the production team would have been extremely dedicated to their indie project and may not have even had the funds to do so. The idea of advanced video software being used has also been
That's
debated,
actually so
but
messed
the
up.
videos are truly convincing in being actual evidence of ghosts and a possible afterlife. Number 4, Lord Combermere's Ghost. Wellington
Lord
Stapleton
Cumberbatch.
Cotton was a British soldier who served in Canada during the Papua New Rebellion in 1837, and later a conservative politician in the British House of Commons before being inducted into the House of Lords as the second Viscount Combermere in 1865.
Okay.
In 1891, Lord Combermere was struck by a horse-drawn carriage and died 7 weeks later from coronary thrombus in St. James Palace, where
That's
he
not
was
good.
living. Not long after his death, photographer Cybele Corbett, Lord Combermere's
Right
sister-in-law, was taking photos of the palace during the Lord's funeral. She set up her camera in the Abbey library and left it for an hour before retrieving it. Upon developing the photos, she found a strange figure seated in a large armchair to the left of the photograph.
I wonder, like,
To her
what goes through
amazement,
their
the
mind
figure
when they
appeared
see,
to
like,
be that of Lord
spirits in, like, their
Combermere.
photos.
People speculated a person entered the room and sat down while the photo was being taken, and even theorized it was a double exposure shot. However, the chances of the subject being seated directly on the chair is unlikely, and many have included this in the archives as further proof of ghosts. Number 3,
Ghosts are
gas
real.
station entity. Workers at a gas station in Parma, Ohio, captured a remarkable specter on their CCTV late one autumn night in 2007. A large blue apparition appeared on the cameras and floated around the pump
Looks like
area
a bag.
for half an hour before disappearing. This is the first and so far only instance of a haunting at the gas station since its opening, and people have continued to speculate its origin. The witness of the event, Amit Abuzira, believes it to be the spirit of his deceased nephew, who passed away 3 weeks before the footage was captured from an accidental fall. Abuzira claims the entity was visible to his own
That's
eyes,
creepy.
saying he saw it after looking out the window. Skeptics believe the footage was altered in some way, or it was simply a glitch, but this would not explain those who witnessed the apparition with their own eyes. The story even picked up airtime on CNN, and people flocked to the station in order to see the footage firsthand, which workers have proudly shown to those seeking an explanation. Number 2, Freddie Jackson's last group photo. Freddie Jackson was a mechanic in the Royal Air Force during the First World War.
Got it
Jackson
there.
was killed in 1919 after accidentally being struck by a moving airplane propeller while working at the HMS
terrible.
Dildis training facility. 2 days later, members of Sir Victor Goddard's squadron, who had served at the HMS Dildis, gathered for a group photo. Upon close inspection of the photo, experts noticed a figure partially obscured behind one of the airmen, and when the group saw the photo, they identified the figure as Jackson. While most would brush this off as a mistake or hoax, it is interesting to note Jackson's funeral was held the same day the photo was taken.
That's
the photo
creepy.
did not see publication until
You see, like, a random
1975,
person.
and the story behind its eerie yet charming backstory became well known. It appears Jackson's final wish was to be included in the photo with his fellow airmen.
That's
Since
nice.
then, there's been no reports of Jackson haunting. Therefore, it may be safe to assume he was able to move on after the flashbulb went off.
That's good, that's good, that's
Number
good.
1, Ghosts of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was the most deadly battle in the whole American Civil War, with casualties of over 20,000 on both sides. The battle was
Terrible.
also seen as the turning point of the war, and the deciding battle in the Confederate defeat and surrender. It should come as no surprise to people the site of Gettysburg is said to be one of the most haunted locations in the
Yeah.
United States, as well as hosting some of the most active spirits. Several videos have appeared online of apparitions walking along the hills, and people tell stories of witnessing men in Civil War uniforms standing at attention several yards away before vanishing, and hearing the sounds of cannons and muskets going off in the distance. When there are no reenactments going on or other explanations available, Gettysburg is a National Historic Site and brings in thousands of tourists every year, which explains why the area is so famous for the number of ghost sightings every year. Sadly, these soldiers who died
That
at
is so
Gettysburg cannot seem to find
creepy, I
peace in the
swear.
afterlife, and they all waited attention for the order to charge or to fire. Thanks for checking out this countdown.
Guys, please do me a favor and go subscribe to Top 15s. Their link will be in the description down below. That was a really good video. And I do believe in paranormal activity. I do believe in ghosts. I feel like when we die, you can either move on. I'm not sure what that means to you. It could be like heaven. It could be the spiritual realm. But we do move on. Maybe even like reincarnation. But there are people that like stay on the earth and are not free. Like, they're held on to something. Like Gettysburg, like, they're soldiers, right? That's what I think. And leave me comment down below. Do you think that soldiers... do you believe that ghosts exist? Leave me comment down below. And hope you guys enjoy the video. And have a great day, guys.